The manuscript had been ready. I left it on my laptop for a moment while making tea. When I returned, Daniel had sent it to our publisher under his name alone. I thought Daniel was my friend, my co-writer, my partner in crafting the novel. That had consumed the last 2 years of my life. We spent nights shaping characters, arguing over plot twists, and editing until our eyes burned. I trusted him completely, and that trust was the knife in my back. The manuscript had been ready. I left it on my laptop for a moment while making tea. When I returned, Daniel had sent it to our publisher under his name alone. Months of our collaboration, every idea, every sentence I had written, claimed as his. The letters of credit were gone. The contract would list him as the sole author. I didn't confront him. Fury would have made me sloppy. Instead, I watched. I cataloged. Every message he sent, every email he forwarded, every casual boast to friends became ammunition. I quietly copied drafts from the cloud, secured my early outlines, and began building the timeline of my creation. Then I began the quiet work of dismantling him. I leaked early drafts anonymously to a literary forum he frequented. I sent subtle, anonymous tips to literary critics who had praised him publicly. I forwarded side-by-side comparisons of his published work with my original drafts, highlighting the fingerprints only a dedicated reader could trace. I planted small contradictions in interviews he had scheduled, ensuring he would misrepresent the plot points in public appearances. Meanwhile, I observed his self-confidence, once unshakable, began to wobble. Critics questioned his originality. Colleagues whispered he didn't know who was behind it, only that the foundation he had built on my work was cracking. Then came the final blow. At a book festival, he was invited to speak as the author of our work. I attended quietly, sitting in the third row. During the Q&A, I asked a simple, precise question. In the early drafts, there were several plot points that didn't appear in the final book. Who inspired those? He hesitated. The camera crews caught it. The audience murmured. I pulled out my phone, subtly, and projected the early drafts onto a shared screen. Had arranged with a friendly organizer, all time-stamped and authored under my account. Every innovation, every nuanced sentence, every chapter twist bore my fingerprints. The room fell silent. He stuttered. The crowd of literary enthusiasts, critics, and publishers realized he had presented another person's genius as his own. Questions came quickly. The publisher demanded clarification, critics requested proof, and social media exploded with evidence. I didn't gloat. I didn't shout. I simply smiled as the work that had been stolen from me returned to me, not as a victory over him, but as a reclamation of truth. Daniel's carefully constructed image crumbled, and there was nothing he could do. Months later, the publisher approached me directly. Offers, invitations, opportunities I had never received as co-author were now mine alone. Daniel had vanished from the literary scene, exposed and humiliated. The betrayal had been sharp, but my revenge had been sharper, methodical, invisible, and inevitable. In the end, I learned something vital. Genius is ephemeral, but truth and patience can be devastatingly permanent.